Hey guys, welcome to Star Sign Horoscopes. I am your astrologer, Jamie Magee, and today we are going to be taking a look at the astrology for June 3rd through the 9th. I do hope you guys are having a great week out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. It definitely means a lot to me. Okay, so let's talk about the week ahead. Now, we do not have a lot of transits this week, but I do feel like these are always the weeks that sort of sneak up on us or catch us a little bit off guard. It's kind of like that phase right after a big party or a big event or the end of the season. When you're in that cleanup stage, packing up, looking back so you can look ahead, it's where our emotions, our revelations, our ideas, our lessons all kind of collide in at once. And we find that we either have to take the information that we have now and go back and revise something, or take the information we have now and run forward. If not, do both of those things at the same time. So, depending on how your party went, this week could feel mild or tense or a little bit of both, depending on what day. All right, so let's talk about why. All right, so this week we have Mercury, who is going to move forward. He's going to station direct. Now, anytime Mercury goes backwards or forwards, to me, it always reminds me of a train shifting tracks. It's a little bumpy, it's a little chaotic, but once you start flowing, everything, unfolds the way it should. We just have to get through that bumpy little bit of communication or that little bit of a chaotic feeling as it moves directions. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And this week we also have Saturn, the time master, stationing retrograde, which is the opposite of what Mercury is going to do. So we have forward motion and now we have retrograde motion. Now, Saturn is going to ask you to pause and reflect and think back on actions that you've taken around a particular story that you began in February. He wants you to fortify these things. He wants you to make sure that they are timeless, that they're going to support you in the short term and the long term. Now, this story is something that you're going to work on until October. That's when you're going to be ready to relaunch it. So the urgency is not there, but what could feel frustrating is it's almost like a stall, like everything seems to stop around this story. But knowing that it's stalling so you can go back and revise it and benefit yourself in the long run should be helpful. So I want you to keep that in mind if anything feels like the brakes are hit and you can't go forward anymore. The question is, how can you go forward in the coming months? How can you make yourself stronger to do that? Now, this week, we also have the quarter moon. Now, the quarter moon is that space between the new moon, where we set intentions, and the full moon, where we start to see the blossoms and the blooms of the intentions that we set. Now, the quarter moon always reminds us of why we wanted to set those intentions and those goals, the goals that we set with the new moon. Now, sometimes this can come with tension, like, you know what? This is why I'm doing this. I can't handle it anymore. This needs to change so everyone feels more comfortable. Sometimes it can come with motivation or inspiration. Either way, the reminder is there for you to pick up those goals and run with them. You don't want them to deflate. You don't want them to disappear. You want to take action when you see the opportunity to work with them this week. All right, guys, with that being said, let's get ready to dive into the signs and talk about how you can work with this energy. Now, please remember to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign to get a better overall view of how you can work with it. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, Aquarius, let's talk about your week. Now, Aquarius, your top three for this week are going to be: one, pausing and revising something around your overall vitality or your identity and how it impacts your home and work life balance, and definitely your partnerships too. Now, number two, focus is going to be moving forward with any plans that you have around your home or your roots, your foundation. And number three, working with shared resources or finances to help you impact the needed changes that are really kind of happening in every corner of your life. Now, let's talk about why. Okay, so Aquarius, this year you're in the middle of a transformational phase that's really helping you see what is important to you and why it is important to you. You've made a lot of great strides forward around how you approach the world, how you kind of step out, and you've learned a lot. But at this point in the year, it's time to pause, to go back and reflect on what you've learned so you can further support your overall growth. Now, what's interesting about your week is that even though you have this overall theme that's asking you to pause, there still is forward motion happening for you. You'll notice this around decisions that you've made that have to do with your home and your roots and how it impacts your partnerships and your overall reputation. So there could be a little bit of tension that you feel in this area of your life, especially around resources or loans our partnerships, but this tension that you're feeling this week is to remind you of why you set these intentions, why you set the goals last week around things that you love unconditionally and how you want to see them grow. So it's almost as if you have to, pause and look at the big picture so you can make the changes that you need to make around your home. And this is going to overall impact shared resources and loans and partnerships. I definitely want to encourage you, Aquarius, to lean into the change that you want to make, even if it means looking in the past for the answers that you need. Because, sometimes we're always looking forward. We're like, you know what, that didn't work. The solution has to be somewhere over there. I do think you're probably holding the answer, and it's going to come from an unexpected kind of breakthrough way. You're just going to have to look for it this week. And I think that idea is probably going to come from someone or something that is really close to home or really close to what makes you feel nurtured and secure. So definitely look for it there. All right. I do hope you have a good week, Aquarius. I look forward to seeing you next time.